de journée à Bénédicte, quand t'as pas touché ni la pédale à gaz, ni la brique, ni la clutch, même pas la switch cruise. Les deux bras croisés, les jambes sous le dash, puis la musique qui place. Mon 18 nous ramène toujours chelou. Eastbound and down. Eastbound and down. Eastbound and down. Eastbound and down.
Ça change grand chose. Je le dis tout bas, garde ça pour toi. Me suis moulé à la chaise. Je suis ben Venise, ben Amanès. Puis ça prendra toute mon petit change pour que je me dérange. Pour que je me dérange. Si ça continue de même, je me perdrai peut-être dans les craques du couch. J'ai rejoint les miettes de chips puis les matins des poussières. Je retrouverai des vieux trésors dans les murs de laine puis les ressorts. Quand je serai porté disparu, sortez juste la balayeuse. Le ciel est paresseux aujourd'hui, et moi aussi. Le ciel est paresseux aujourd'hui, et moi aussi. La, 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 la. Sur mon épaule et mon baluchon, usé à la corde puis qui déborde. Dans des bas qui veut plus avancer, trop de millage sous les pieds. Y a un moment où faut l'entretenir, paresser sa peau, alléger son fardeau. Y a un moment où on doit choisir quel bagage emporter. Le ciel pèse une tonne aujourd'hui. Le ciel pèse une tonne aujourd'hui, et moi aussi. La, 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 la. La, 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 la,
hello, and welcome back to Tracks from Abroad on CIUT 89.5 FM. My name is Seth Martosh, and I'm here with my co-host,
Alex Troxel.
For those of you who are new to the show, Tracks from Abroad is a show operating out of the University of Toronto where we speak to students each week about the cultures they come from, the countries that they were born in or have ties to. We learn about some new music, food, geography, what else? Who let the dogs out? Anything, really.
Really anything, yeah.
And the first two songs that you just heard at the top of the hour were recommended by our guest today from New Brunswick. Not really from a foreign country. It's a little different this week. We got somebody from inside Canada. We spoke to a student named Cedric.
Yeah.
And the two songs at the top of the hour were recommended by him and from artists that, helped him on his journey. He's a guitar student, classical guitar student.
Here at University of Toronto, yeah. And, reflecting on our interview, we didn't actually end up talking that much about New Brunswick itself. We talked a lot about his studies. We didn't talk too much about the culture he's from. So hopefully you'll be able to glean that a little bit from the music, which is going to be, a mix of English and a little bit of French too, mainly French, because Cedric is Acadian. So later we'll be hearing, for example, from a band called 1755, which is sort of a band credited for starting the contemporary, movement around the Acadian identity. 1755 was the year that the Acadians, the French people in New Brunswick, were deported by the English.
Wow, history lesson.
History lesson. So we'll be hearing a bit from that band too. But without further ado, let's just get into the interview today.
In New Brunswick called Grand Falls. Was born and raised there, and afterwards I went to Moncton to study in music at the Université de Moncton. I did 5 years there, and now I'm in Toronto to do my master's in music performance. And I've been here since September, and I'm really enjoying it.
Is it a big difference when it comes to just opportunities as a musician to be in a big city compared to New Brunswick?
Yeah, definitely. Well, first, there's more people, so more opportunities to play, new people to meet, bigger spaces to play and practice. So it's really good for a musician to go out of their comfort zone to experience other way of life, something that you can't really get from just being in one place, in my opinion.
Yeah, normally we talk to people from foreign countries, not exactly Canada, but, even between provinces, I think there's a lot of difference.
Oh, yeah.
What have you noticed the most from Toronto to New Brunswick?
Yeah, well, the first is the culture is different. I'm Acadian, French dude, grew up in French and learned in French, and now going into English. It's not a big switch, but it's still something that not in my comfort zone. I'm more comfortable in French. And just how many culture there is around here. You walk, there's Little Italy, and then there's Asian place, and there's really a mixture of different countries in all one space, which I find really enriching for someone to see and live.
And could you tell us a little bit about what instrument you play primarily, how you got interested in it?
Yes, so I came in with my guitar case. So I'm a classical guitarist. I studied classical guitar for over a decade now. I started in Edmundston, which is a close town of Grand Falls, by taking lessons there. Because I've learned at that time that I could study music, and it was in classical style. So I took initiative to learn and get ready for that. But I started with electric guitar. I started with metal and blues and rock, and I still play all those style. I'm in two bands also, one metal band, one blues rock band. So I'm really interested in different style and keeping myself busy and learning new stuff also.
Could you say a bit about what it's like to write music in rock genres, having a classical training?
For me, at this point, there are two different instruments. The classical guitar would see it as an orchestra, since you have to control all the aspects of the accompaniment, the melody, the balance between all those things. It's really polyphonic, a lot of things happening at the same time, really precise work, and it really takes patience and concentration to really bring out what the music is about. On the other hand, the electric guitar and rock and blues, it's more like almost a violin in a way, but also like a drum, depends on which part you're playing. But nonetheless, the classical music training really impacted how I play the electric guitar now. My technique, especially on my left hand, really developed to help me be more comfortable around the neck and knowing how to play better and stuff like that. So,
did you start off listening and wanting to play more rock and metal music?
Yeah, I remember the first song I learned was One by Metallica. But even before that, I just always been attracted to the instrument. I had toys around that were guitars, and I would just play with it. I've always been attracted to the instrument.
Right.
I don't know if you guys know Guitar Hero. That
Sure,
I used to rock on that.
Of course.
So really good training.
Expert level.
Yeah.
It's always so impressive when I see people playing that and then they're hitting all of the notes perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, if it's more impressive for that or actual guitar. Is your goal to perform in an orchestra, to perform kind of that classical music, or do you also have the desire to write music for, let's say, movies or TV shows, things like that?
Well, my main goal would be to become a university professor. That has always been something that I wanted to pursue. But in the meanwhile, since it's not something that, like, it's possible, but we never know when, in the meantime, I have to do other stuff. So as a musician today, you have to be really well-versed in different aspects, such as marketing, business, composing, playing, teaching, all those sorts of things that really helps the musician to grow and to be able to live off their music.
Do you think you could recommend some music to us? Maybe like something that was inspirational, a song that was inspirational to you as you were learning?
From New Brunswick, there's Les Hôtesses d'Hilaire, which they're like a rock band, really unique and special. There's Lisa Leblanc, which is really popping off in the French communities, and a really good songwriter. There's 1755, which was an old rock band, but yeah.
Great. We'll have a listen to probably a couple of those bands, and we'll be right back on Tracks from Abroad.
Je suis parti de Waltham avec une load dans ma veine. J'arrêtais voir ma mille le long du chemin. A dit comment ça va garçon, je peux pas rester, je m'en vais chez des camps, puis j'arrêterai bien quand je reviens par ici. J'embarquais dans mon truck, à pas souhaiter good luck. J't'ai mis en gear, puis j'embarquais sur le highway. J'ai viré des coins puis des croches, dans ce vieux truck tout bourré de broches qui hangait des antennes sur le mirway. Je lui criais salut, see me buddy, hello honky turkey. J'tire de m'avoir promené sur le highway. 10-4 there, teddy bear, right on, rolling vagabond. J'tire de m'avoir promené sur le highway. Enroulé là. J't'année de faire ce genre de vie, de switcher en mon vieux CV. C'est rendu que ma job c'est un ennui. Ça fait pas mal d'années je fais ça. Quand j'ai commencé je m'en souviens pas. J'ai halé toutes sortes de stuff jusqu'aux États. Ah ouais j'ai halé. Je m'achèterais un morceau de terre, banqué sur le bord de la mer. Puis je traiterais mon gros truck pour un bateau. Démancherai mon vieux simi, puis mes mirouets, puis mes broches aussi, puis j'installerai tout ça sur mon vaisseau. Et puis un jour, quand je flotterai sur l'eau, je switcherai en ma radio pour saluer mes chums dans les convois. Je les parlerai de vivre en plein air, de pêcher les œufs sur la grande mer, puis du homard, du hareng, puis giga du maquereau. Oh, hey, là, salut, see me buddy, hello, honky turkey, j'tire de m'avoir promené sur les highways. 10-4 there, teddy bear, right on, rolling vagabond. J'tire de m'avoir promené sur le highway. Enroulé dans le vieux moule. terre, au moins je l'ai loué. Si tu es pas loin du vieux jet câblé, eh ben mon gros troc, je l'ai tradé. Là, still, je m'installe dans mon bateau, puis je switch on mon vieux radio, puis je passe du homard, du haram, du gigot, du macro. Breaker, breaker, good buddy, salut, see buddy. Hello, honky dirty, je tired de moi promener sur les highways. Ten four there, teddy bear, ride on the rolling vagabond, je tired de moi promener sur les highways. Hey, gros chum, t'as smoké sur le jus. Salut, see buddy. Hello, honky dirty, je tired de moi promener sur les highways. Oh no, ten four there, teddy bear, ride on the rolling vagabond, je tired de moi promener sur les highways. Oh, but not on.
Pourquoi faire aujourd'hui ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Pourquoi faire aujourd'hui ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Pourquoi faire aujourd'hui ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Pourquoi faire aujourd'hui ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Ma to-do list, passer le balai, passer la mop, appeler ma mère, faire du bénévolat, on va-tu prendre un café, on va-tu prendre une drink? Je pourrais prendre une marche, il fait beau soleil, sortir dehors, ça me ferait pas de tort, regarder une série, peut-être une deuxième, me couler un bain, me semble je le mérite. Pourquoi faire aujourd'hui ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Pourquoi faire aujourd'hui ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Pourquoi faire aujourd'hui ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Pourquoi faire aujourd'hui ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Laissez-moi me faire bercer par les bras du déni, balayer mes corvées sous le tapis, jusqu'à ce que les trompettes annoncent l'arrivée du fait que j'ai rien crissé, y'a rien de paré, c'est de même chaque fois que je comprends pas. Wouh! Pourquoi faire aujourd'hui que ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Pourquoi faire aujourd'hui que ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Pourquoi faire aujourd'hui que ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Pourquoi faire aujourd'hui que ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Pourquoi faire aujourd'hui que ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Pourquoi faire aujourd'hui que ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Que ce que tu pourrais faire demain? Que ce que tu pourrais faire demain?
Welcome back to Tracks from Abroad on CIUT 89.5 FM. Today we're talking with Cedric from New Brunswick. Cedric, you mentioned before being able to perform in different types of venues. You know, in New Brunswick, there's maybe not as many opportunities, but I saw also on your Instagram, you know, you performing in some of these amazing churches and places like that. Do you notice a difference also acoustically when you play in a place like that versus a performance venue?
Definitely, especially for the classical guitar, since it's not very resonant instrument, the environment in which it's being played really affects the performer and the performance. There's some beautiful churches I've played to, and there's one in Caraquet, New Brunswick, that the way it's built, it's all wood inside and was made by ship makers, so it really has a ship look in a way.
Right. Curvy.
And, yeah. And the sound that happens inside that church is really phenomenal, and they didn't think that way, since they probably just wanted a place that was able to bring out the voice of the priest or whoever, but it really works well for music and really something special. In Toronto, there's especially bigger venues, more sophisticated type of places, but for the guitar, what you want is a place that is smaller and more resonant, so that's something you want to look for.
Is being in a venue where you can hear yourself well and that you think you sound good in, does that affect your performance?
Yeah. I've played in some places that I could barely hear myself on stage, but some people in the audience would say that, we hear you fine.
Yeah.
So it's really another thing, a mind game of the place and the performer to just adjust to those, since there's no place that are similar. So you really have to be accustomed to the changes and be ready to face them.
I wanted to ask also, we were talking about the metal bands and the fact that you just have an interest in the guitar as an instrument. Are there any people who you think really influenced you on your musical journey?
Stevie Ray Vaughan, that guy really opened up the aspect of improvisation for me, especially on the electric guitar. I really enjoyed his music, his playing, his phrasing, and it's not really that common to improvise on the classical guitar, but it's something that I like to do once in a while to experiment with. But for musicians that really inspired me, Stevie Ray Vaughan. There's a guy in Toronto, Intervals, Aaron Marshall. That guy also, growing up, I was playing his music and really inspired me in the way I play today, and really influenced by that. You
said that there's not much improv in classical guitar usually. Is that just sort of like just a trend that happens to be within the community of people who play classical guitar, or is the instrument different that sort of doesn't lend itself to improv?
Well, it's kind of just the whole classical music aspect. I don't know why they removed improvisation in their teaching first and just in something to pursue. Music teaching has really changed throughout the years, and like if we take Bach, he would have learned those formulas that he would bring inside him and just improvise over that, and the teaching changed in a way that it's more theoretical and less practical on the instrument, and it really disconnected the improvisational aspect of music. But there's musicians improvising with classical guitar, which like Roland Diaz, which is a French guitarist, that he started his concert by improvising. So it's not something that is lost and forgotten, but it's something that could be more part of the classical community, in my opinion.
Right.
Is that something that you would wish to change if, you were to become a professor and kind of teach as well?
Oh, yeah. I would definitely try to push my student to just play whatever. You don't need boundaries. You can just play one note, and if it makes you feel good, continue. So it's really liberating to be able to just play. And it's something that we forget sometimes, especially when you're studying complex pieces.
What certain kind of level of proficiency do you feel like you need to have before you can kind of start to improvise?
I don't think you really need. If you don't know how to play, just play. That you're improvising there. And it's even more natural since you don't know anything about the instrument. Usually you would say just play something, there would be like, but you just remove that and you just play whatever comes.
Yeah. I guess like when you're just starting out, you don't have all like the sort of boundaries that you might set up once you get used to, this is how you play, this is how you don't play.
The more you learn, you tend to just complicate things as harder they are already.
Right.
Yeah, I've never really thought about it like that. I guess I feel like a lot of people that, start learning think like, oh, I have to learn chords, or I have to learn this first and then this and this. But to just sit down and kind of just play around is a good way to go about it.
Do you think you could give us another music recommendation of maybe one of those artists that inspired you from the New Brunswick area, or that plays a role in New Brunswick culture?
Well, there is a band that I really like also from Baie des Chaleurs region. It's called Baie. Their harmony is really interesting, and their music is really a nice vibe. There's also Hey Babies, which has a really nice sounds, beautiful harmonies, and really interesting overall.
Well, we'll have a listen to a couple of those again, and we'll be right back on Tracks from Abroad.
Jeudi passé, encore la même histoire. Ça, je t'ai promis, quand je réservais un soir. Y'a beaucoup de route à faire, c'est pas comme l'année dernière. Quand je t'ai dit que mon cœur resterait avec le tien. Puis ça me t'arrivera que je t'aime puis je peux pas l'être. T'as mal à me dire, notre amour se tient par le fil de téléphone. J'écoute ce que tu penses, c'est vraiment pas comme ça. J'ai les matins que je sais pas où je m'en vais. Je te donne mes nouvelles, mais j'ai vraiment plus quoi te dire. Je resterai fidèle en visant mon point de mire. Puis ça me t'arrivera que je t'aime puis je peux pas l'être. T'as mal à me dire, notre amour se tient par le fil de téléphone. Ça tourne en rond, je vois les yeux dans ta tête disant c'est beau à dire, ouais non quand t'arrives, ouais quand j'arrive, et je vais jamais assez longtemps, ouais quand j'arrive, et je vais jamais assez longtemps, puis ça me tendrait bien que je t'aime puis je peux pas l'être. T'as mal à me dire, notre amour se tient par le fil de téléphone. Notre amour se tient par le fil de téléphone. Notre amour se tient par le fil de téléphone. Notre amour se tient par le fil de téléphone.
Hello out there, we're on the air. It's hockey night tonight. Tension grows, the whistle blows, and the puck goes down the ice. The goalie jumps and the players bump and the fans all go insane. Someone roars, Bobby scores at the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Second period, where players dash with skates aflash. The home team trails behind, but they grab the puck and go bursting up, and they're down across the line. They storm the crease like bumblebees. They travel like a burning flame. We see them slide the puck inside. It's a 1-1 hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Third period, last game in the playoffs too. Oh, take me where the hockey players face off down the rink, and the Stanley Cup is all filled up for the champs who win the drink. Now the final flick of a hockey stick and a one gigantic scream. The puck is in, the home team wins the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game.
Could you tell us a bit about winning the FCMF classical competition, national competition?
Yeah, so I first applied for that in 2021, I believe. So it was during COVID. I've been practicing for a while now in my classical guitar. I think it was at my third year at university. No, second. So the way it goes, you apply in the regionals, then you compete in the regionals, then if you go through, you compete in the provincials, and then if you go through and you're recommended, you go to the nationals. And since it was COVID, it was all video. So I've learned how to take videos of myself, which is beneficial. But overall, it was a great experience. I've won the first place in 2021 and 2022, and I've got second place in 2023.
And you're competing with all types of classical musicians, not just guitarists.
Well, I was in the category of classical guitarist, so I would compete with other guitarists.
Right.
But like the grand prize is all those musicians competing for a big prize.
So with all that focus on guitar, do you have much interest or time to play other instruments?
I play some bass. I wrote some bass for my band, but I'm not that big of a bass player. It's all about the groove. If you get in the pocket and you play the notes on the right time, I think you're a good bassist. You know?
Is it sort of like flexing a different muscle to play bass compared to guitar?
It's another vibe. The purpose of the bass is really to lock in the band together, and just so much can bring out from the bass. It's all about the bass, man.
I've seen some people craft their own guitars. Have you ever been interested in doing that type of thing?
Yeah, I'd like to become a luthier someday. Make my own classical guitar would be something fun. It's a lot of work, and it's really a lot of details. But, eventually maybe have my own shop and make guitars. So.
And you mentioned that this guitar that you brought today was stolen. Could you tell that story again for us?
So on my third year recital, I was playing in a church in Moncton. And, I get there, do my sound check, everything is all right. I leave my guitar in a place that was supposed to be safe. I go home, get ready, come back. My guitar is in there. So I go to the sound guy and I'm like, my guitar is in there. He's like, what? So he later tells me that there was a guy that came in earlier that was asking for food, probably a homeless guy, and eventually, he took my guitar. He walked like 5 minutes and sold it at a tea shop, but he sold it to the father of one of my friends, so it came back to me a couple days later. But what I had to do was to find another guitar, and I had like 30 minutes to find one.
Yeah.
So my teacher went in the car and went to university to grab 2 guitars, and I tried both of them, and I picked one. I warmed up a little bit and I go play.
Is there a different feel to each guitar and you'd have to
Some notes might resonate better, some might play easier, some might not. The spacing, it's so precise. The range of error is so small that you notice right away when it's different, but you just need to get used to it.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Cedric, thank you so much for coming in today and speaking with us. We were wondering if you have another song that you could recommend that we play.
Well, one of my bands, I think they have one couple songs on Spotify, is Limits from Lies, a metal band. Will release an album soon. It's on the works of being mastered, and all organized. And I have my rock band that is Zest. We don't have anything out yet, but we're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and we're going to release some music this year. So if you guys want to look into that, you're welcome.
Well, yeah, we'll have a listen. And this is Tracks from Abroad on CIUT 89.5 FM.
Hello and welcome back to Tracks from Abroad on CIUT 89.5 FM. You just heard End After All by Limits from Lies. That's the band that Cedric plays guitar in.
And yeah, that song specifically reminds me a lot of the NHL 14 soundtrack. I don't know if you ever played as a kid growing up any of those like hockey video games or video games in general. Did you play any?
I despise hockey, but I'll entertain the idea.
For the sake of the bit?
Yeah,
okay, sure. There's just a lot of songs that are like really hard rock like that.
Yeah.
You know, Black Veil Brides and Wolf Mother. So when I heard that song, it just brought me back to, you know, being on my couch as a youngin',
right,
playing NHL 14, but only NHL 14. That was the only one I played.
Is that why you snuck in the good old hockey game by Stompin' Tom?
Yeah, also from New Brunswick. So that was fun to know. And again, a song that I think, especially if you're, you know, grew up in Canada, you probably heard that around. Mm-hmm. If you ever went to any hockey games or at the arena,
yeah, of course, or
just on some Canada Day festivals, things like that. I feel like that's when I heard it.
Yeah, and of course we wish Cedric all the best with that. That was actually just a demo that you can find on their Spotify. So good luck to the official production, of course. And just another thanks again to Cedric for coming on the show. And I guess also thanks for a sort of surprise confession that we got out of him. If you recall, last week, Seth had, I would say, an insatiable curiosity for who in fact let the dogs out. That was on our Bahamas episode. And so, you know, we thought we'd follow up. You know, someone needs to figure this out. Who did let the dogs out? We talked to a lot of people for the show, so we just went ahead and we asked Cedric. You know, put it right to him. Play the clip.
We said in our last interview, it was about the Bahamas, and you know the song "Who Let the Dogs Out"?
Yeah. That song is by an artist from the Bahamas.
So we were playing it, and then we knew we had this interview with you today, and then we were wondering who let the dogs out, and then Alex said that it might have been you. Last question: did you let the dogs out?
Yes.
See, okay, now that segment it's a little bit misleading. The part where I defend myself got completely cut out. I did not say over air that Cedric let the dogs out.
Said it.
That was definitely Seth. But yeah, well, there you go. Now we know the answer. So
set in stone.
Yeah, last week I said sarcastically that it was our most informative episode ever. It's definitely been trumped by this one. We now know who let the dogs out.
Right.
So enough of our aimless banter here. We're gonna get back to some more music from New Brunswick.
Yeah. And first off, we have another song that I think is pretty popular that many people might have heard, but it's actually sung by an artist who was born in New Brunswick and created by a Romanian DJ. So there's the New Brunswick connection there, and we're going to have a listen to Stereo Love by Mia Martina and Edward Maya on Tracks from Abroad on CIUT 89.5 FM.
Don't let
I just wanna make music. Open the curtains and look through my window, watching the trees move and feeling the winds blow. My lady speaks softly and turns down her lights low. I just wanna make music. I just wanna make music all night long. I just wanna make music, sing my song. Mitchell and Vicky are coming to see me. Get out the honey and I'll make a pot of tea. Ain't got much money, but I like living free. I can always make music. Sang until sunrise and sleep was in Vicky's eyes. My how the time flies, then we said goodbyes. Open my window and I could see blue skies. They'll just follow music. I just wanna make music all night long. I just wanna make music, sing my song. La 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 la
We heard tonight. If you
Welcome back to Tracks from Abroad on CIUT 89.5 FM. My name is Seth, and I'm here with my co-host Alex, and today's episode was on New Brunswick. You just heard a song by Ken Tobias called I Just Want to Make Music, and another tidbit about that first song, the one that played before. The original of that song was actually sung by a Russian artist, but the song that I always heard on the radio here, living in Canada, was by Mia Martina, who again was from New Brunswick. So I think it was interesting to see, sometimes they make like a radio edit or, a North American version of a song. And I was curious to see that, the difference between them, because they're the same song, but again, just the singer kind of brings a different
right, yeah.
joie de vivre, maybe.
Oh, nice French. I really enjoyed especially listening to the variety of different genres that we heard tonight, from house music to more traditional Acadian music to disco. If you have recommendations for us from a country that you think is being overlooked, an artist that isn't in a traditional genre from that country but you think really needs to be heard, feel free to email us at tracksfromabroad@ciut.fm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
we just want to thank Cedric again for, like we said, all the songs that he brought. And one thing I found particularly interesting was actually the New Brunswick accent. Hearing Cedric speak, and also in all the variety of different songs, you can really hear that strong French accent. I mean, I study French here at the university, and you hear people talking in French, maybe people from Quebec or people who have family that was actually from France. Everybody has a little bit of a different accent, even the people maybe like myself who are an Anglophone speaking French, but the New Brunswick accent is very, very distinct, and it shows in a lot of these songs too, which is super interesting.
Do you think you can tell, being a student of French, that you can sort of tell these accents apart?
A little bit. I think once you hear a lot of people speaking, you get played videos in class and these types of things, especially the difference between Quebecois French and French traditionally from France, which is mostly what they teach here, at least in Ontario.
Yeah, it's funny because, as in part of the Anglophone culture, different accents is like sort of a big part of our culture. It's a big part of our comedy and all that sort of thing, right? And I guess we Anglophones sort of miss out on that in other languages.
Sure.
The different accents between different French-speaking peoples, for example. And I think that's going to bring it
do a close tonight.
Yeah, we just want to thank the team at Tracks from Abroad, everybody that makes this show possible. Everybody's a volunteer, including myself and Alex, our board tech Matthew, who's in the studio with us, our directors Rosa and Elżbieta, editor Simon, and our social media managers Akshita and Isabella. So thank you to all those people who make this show possible.
Absolutely. And as always, coming up next at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. is Indigenous Waves on CIUT.FM. So stick around for that. But for us, that's it. Good night.
It's so hard getting by these days as an honest man. I'm just trying to do my part, just wanna lend a hand. When I need it, I can't get no help. Everybody just serving themselves. Nobody's got time for an honest man. All the movers and the shakers and the powers that be, they turn their backs on each other. They turn their backs on me. Now I just want to know where I stand. Am I a mountain or a grain of sand? Has anybody got time for an honest man? What do I have to get your attention? I have so much to say. Why don't you just listen? Hard out here for an honest man. I keep trying, I keep